Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, as you come into the chat, be sure to like the video, drop your elephants and your crowns, and let me know where you're watching from. We are recapping, we're almost done with season 11 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, part 3 of the reunion. If you missed it, I was live on my TikTok last night at 10 p.m. Eastern watching part 3 with you, and of course commenting, even to the point where we stopped and had to rewind and comment again. There were quite a few moments during this Beverly Hills reunion that I just said to myself, did this really need to be 4 parts? Did this really need to be 4 parts? Mostly this first part had to do with a lot of the little things that happened throughout the season. We did discover, though, that there is some family drama with Garcelle and her sister, and that's part of the reason why Garcelle couldn't remember her sister's name at one point, and the whole situation that's going on between between Kyle and Kathy sort of triggered what's going on with her sister. So, Garcelle, you know what we need to do for this season. They've already started filming, literally started filming this week for season 12, as you know. And if you missed it, I just posted a video talking about Dorit Kemsley's home being invaded, and jewelry was taken, handbags were taken, and she was held at gunpoint, to the point where we're hearing they threatened her life. They said, one person allegedly said, kill her. We don't know. I know there's a lot of speculation around this. You also may recall Dorit's home, not this particular home, but another home, had been burglarized a couple of years ago. As I've said before, this is not new to California. There's a lot of home invasions. Some people are wondering, is Teddy Mellencamp's husband's security company the one behind this? Meaning behind the security system, not necessarily behind the burglary. That has not been confirmed, but people have also been speculating that, where Pop Smoke had been killed, that home was a rental of Teddy Mellencamp and her husband. This is, regardless, this sounds very traumatizing. More than likely, we will see this play out on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12. They did start filming today. We did see footage of Kyle, Erika, and Lisa Rinna, and Teddy. Unfortunately, Teddy might be making an appearance next season, going to her home. And she does have a security system. We see Kyle trying to get into the home, and she has to be buzzed into the home. We're hearing that these intruders came through the children's classroom, broke a glass in the classroom, their at home classroom, in order to get into the home. We hear that the kids were not up, and they were still asleep when this occurred. This is a horrific situation. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. There are people speculating that it is a storyline. This might be an insurance scam. I don't know what it is, but regardless, it sounds scary. I wouldn't want to wish this on anyone. Honestly. Excuse me, y'all. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. What's going on, everyone? All right, so we will talk, and I will be posting the call-in link once we get to a certain number. I haven't decided yet, because this is the very first time. This is probably the latest that we've ever done a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. But look, it's been a busy day, and I think most people are at home. Right now. All right. Shout out to my mod. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. I appreciate you all being here. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. Also, don't forget to join our texting community. It's a great way for us to stay connected. And that way, when a story like the Dorit story breaks, I send you a text that way. Sometimes I don't have enough time to make a video, or if I'm busy, or if I'm in a meeting, whatever it may be. That's one of the ways that I stay connected with you guys. So a lot of you knew about this story before a lot of other people. So join our texting community at TheKempire.com. So let's just talk about some of the little tidbits that we got from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. So at the top of this reunion, they replay what we saw last week in regards to Kathy Hilton breaking down, talking about her mother. Regardless of how you feel about the storyline, if Kyle has a storyline, I did enjoy Kathy Hilton on the show. I'm not here for all the, Kathy. No, I'm not here for all that. But Kathy's not here for it either, I don't think. But I did enjoy Kyle more this season because Kathy was there. Andy said he thought that maybe we would get a Kim appearance during the season, but we didn't. But maybe next season we will get an appearance because it seems as if all the sisters are in a better place. I didn't realize that for 10 years, although they were communicating, they really weren't not hanging out. There was still a lot of tension within the family. Look, that's real for a lot of people. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Family drama is family drama. Okay? I had to take a sip, y'all. Don't forget, get your coldest water bottle. 10% discount when you use the code KEMP10. I love my coldest water bottle. If you want a pink one, I know a lot of people wanted a pink one. It's sold out, but hopefully as soon as there's more, I will let you guys know. But there's so many colors, so many different colors, and they're always coming out with new ones and so many different sizes. Don't forget. I got a frog in my throat. Okay, hold on, y'all. Y'all didn't even tell me I got a little string hanging. Yeah, look, what kind of friends are y'all? Okay, I'm not going to do that because then I'm going to mess up my sweater. You know how long I've had this sweater? I had to pull out all my winter stuff. It's about to be 40-something degrees here in New York. I heard it was like summer while I was away. What's going on with this weather? Anyways. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about, of course, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 3. We watched it live together on my TikTok, right? TikTok. We had a good time. So like I said to you before, I think Garcelle has a storyline. We need to see Garcelle's family next season. We need a little bit of Garcelle's family. I want to figure out that drama with her sister. I want to help her with that. I want to help her with that on the show. There was also photos of Garcelle and Erika Jayne working out, and they were filming for this new season. So it seems as if they're in a better place, but I have to give it to Garcelle and to Crystal this episode and to Sutton, again, doing their job, asking the questions. The problem here, and this is what I see a lot of people saying, we heard the rumors that Andy goes there. He asks the tough questions, but everyone's saying that Andy's asking the questions, but he's not following up to her non-answers. I had to watch this reunion a couple of times, those last 20 minutes, because that's all we really got of Erika. I had to watch those the last couple of minutes. Erika, again, refuses to answer a question about did she know anything. She's like, oh, no, I didn't work for Girardi Keys. She didn't even say no. She said, I didn't work for Girardi Keys. And he's like, is that a no? Is that a no? And she's like, you got your answer. You are lying. Sorry. We've said it before. We're not one of those channels or people or the critics online that wishing Erika goes to jail. No, we're not. Sidebar. Maybe that's why, what's her name? Damn it. Erika Jayne's mom, Chahoy, she subscribes. Okay. I think we all had an open mind this season to see what Erika had to say in regards to the crimes of her husband, Tom Girardi. But turn after turn after turn, this season, she has tried to make us believe a certain narrative about Tom Girardi. And that narrative has been disputed multiple times. Tom Girardi reportedly has been doing this to his clients for 4 decades. So this whole, in honor of Mia, Alzheimer's or dementia is not an excuse. So we need to put that to the side. Next week, of course, she's going to bring that up, saying that everything has fallen on her. She said, "Oh, this is far from over. The results of this have not really come out." Basically saying that these victims of Tom Girardi aren't necessarily victims. That's what you're basically saying. And even all the ladies are saying, at no point during the season did you say anything about the victims. Even Crystal brought up a really great question, and Andy, maybe he didn't hear her conveniently, when she says, well, why didn't you address the victims? That was such an important question. A question Andy Cohen should have been asking. Why didn't you address the victims? Even Ronald Richards said there's no legal situation that would hinder her from acknowledging the victims. There is no legal situation. She could acknowledge the victims. And they're not alleged victims. I'm going to remind you, Joey Rui Gomez won a judgment against your husband in the millions of dollars for stealing his settlement. That's not an alleged victim. He won that in court. A couple of you tagged me just a moment ago on Twitter in regards to photos of Erika with the Cartier ring, that Jaguar ring. Look, that's one of many things that Erika Jayne allegedly has still in possession that was bought with Tom Girardi's money that he reportedly stole from his clients. We will get back to Erika. And again, guys, we have over 300 and something people watching. Let's get to 250 likes. Let's get to 250 likes because, you know, we're going to have more people joining us. Let's get to 250 likes, and then I'll drop the call-in link so you guys can weigh in, and I will be setting a timer. I will be setting a timer just so that we're able to get to everyone because I know a lot of you have opinions. Don't forget when you call in, no cursing. Of course, nothing derogatory. Just share your thoughts on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. For the over 300 something people watching, if you're not subscribed, subscribe because you're getting daily and consistent content here on the channel. Shout out to my mods for keeping this an open dialogue. Because look, I don't care how you feel about me. I don't care how you feel about Erika. I don't care. Everyone has a right to have their opinion as long as you're being respectful to each other. Okay. And of course, be respectful to the callers. Let me take a sip. I want to talk about Crystal. I know a lot of people were on the fence with Crystal. I definitely think Crystal deserves another season. She did show up in this part 3 of the reunion. And she talks about the racism that her father experienced and how that stuck with her. And then she also talked about what she's been experiencing online. You know, we did a story talking about the amount of hate that she was receiving on Twitter, so much so that she had to deactivate her Twitter. And one of my favorite moments from the conversation with this was when Sutton in this moment didn't have to say this, but she says, you know, I apologize for any part of that I had in that situation. And I said, this is what allyship is. This is what ownership is. Erika, are you paying attention? Because in that moment, Sutton really didn't have to. Because Sutton's not the one that's on social media being racist. But I respected it. Crystal talks about that. And then Andy Cohen, of course, goes in and says, you know, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. You know, at some point, I believe Bravo had issued a statement. I know when Tiffany Moon was going through that, Bravo issued a statement in support of her. But here's the thing, knowing what I know, because I have my sources and I'm going to reveal some stuff very soon. I'm just waiting for the story to drop. Bravo, you in trouble, girl. Because you can come out with all the statements that you want to come out with. And we've seen things that have happened over at Bravo. They've gotten rid of people. They've been very inconsistent with how they've handled some of their Bravo celebrities and the atrocious behavior that's going on behind the scenes. And this is why when you guys say, Kempire, you should go work for Bravo. You should do not till they clean up their act at NBC Universal, Bravo. Y'all need to clean up your act. And here's the thing, you know, when I left my corporate job, you know, you have an exit interview and they ask you some of the things that you feel could change. And, you know, there are a lot of companies, especially after, you know, George Floyd in 2020 and the Black Lives Matter movement that want to say inclusion, diversity. And they so miss the point. they so missed the point. They try to be very performative. And that's exactly what I was getting from Andy Cohen. And I know a lot of people, Kempire, you just don't like Andy Cohen. No, it's not that. It felt very fake. It felt very performative in that moment. Because in the same breath, we just talked about Andy Cohen alluding to the fight between Monique and Candace as, oh, this is not Love and Hip Hop. This is not the Bad Girls Club. So excuse me if I look at him when he talks about the hate that Crystal was receiving online, and I'm looking at you like, well, you guys are there trying to hide and cover up for other people so that they can highlight their next new show, allegedly. I'm just going to stay right here on my YouTube channel with my YouTube friends. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Hey, Lonnie. Aunt Lonnie. Look, and this is why it's so important. And I'm so grateful that at this point in our lives that we are able to create platforms for ourselves, own things for ourselves, because we don't have to work for a company that we don't agree with the principles that they have. But we already know NBC has had a lot of, issues over the years, especially with the Me Too movement. But there's other issues that they have not addressed. But we'll talk about that later. We will talk about that later. So shout out to Crystal. I'm looking forward to seeing what Crystal will bring for next season. I thought she had a solid season. I think towards the end of the season, it sort of fell flat. But I love that they ended the season with the Chinese New Year. Everyone looked great. Everyone's saying that should have been their reunion look. That should have been the theme of this on some level. That should have been the theme of the reunion, not Kathy's backyard. You guys, bravo. Wipe your nose. All right. Oh, I see you. Let's go to Camille. Camille says Kempire be going in with the truth on them. Look. Lonnie says, make sure you show your support for the channel, subscribe, and hit that like button, y'all. All right. Jason, where's Jason? I didn't see Jason. Where's Jason? What's going on? Oh, there's Jason. Hold on, y'all. How did I lose it? How did I lose Jason? I lost you in the chat, Jason. I know you're here, though. Shout out to Down with Jason. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, subscribe. Jason, I saw your conversation earlier today. Jason was a lone wolf out there when it comes with Erika. Jason, I'm going to drop the link. You should call in and share your thoughts. Okay, matter of fact, guys, let me know where we are with the likes, and then I'll drop the call-in link. I just want to cover some more areas. So we covered the whole Kathy Hilton and the family drama. We covered Garcelle and her family drama a little bit that we didn't know about. And of course, we covered Crystal and the amount of hate that she was receiving. So a lot of people are saying part 3 really was just a filler. We had a feeling, though, that it would be a filler, okay? The other part of this was, of course, the last 20 minutes had to do with Erika Jayne and more lies. Erika Jayne and more lies. Thank you, Delsenia. Hold on. Guys, let's get to 250 likes. Then I'll drop the call-in link. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know your thoughts on last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Part 3. There's only one more part left. And of course, it's going to be all about Erika. Bravo, the rumor on the street. Not really a rumor. They really wanted to milk this situation. They really wanted to get the ratings, and they've been getting the ratings. But a lot of you are saying after part 3 that you're done. You're done with it. Uh-oh. Have a good date night. I hope it's not a movie. Hold on. Jay Lewis says, Erika didn't answer the questions clearly, and Kyle keeps get away with being a flip-flopper. Kyle definitely was a flip-flopper. And look, and that's the biggest criticism of Andy Cohen. People are saying that he's asking the questions, but he's not following up. He's not pushing for an answer. And even during like a behind the scenes moment, she said, "Oh, I need you to go soft on me." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to, put you on the skewer and fire it up." I know some people feel like Andy's really going there. I don't feel like he really went there. I really don't feel like he went there. I don't know. That's just my personal feeling. So there are a few things that she addresses in this last 20 minutes. And one of the questions that Andy asks is about, how much did she know? How much did she know? And she says she didn't know anything. She didn't know anything. She didn't work at the law firm. However, based on reports and people, there was a point where Erika Jayne did work at Girardi Keese. Last week, she said that all of her paychecks, including her Housewives paychecks, went to Tom Girardi and through the law firm. And then we saw in the preview next week, through tears, she's like, he's incompetent. Which seems very convenient. Do I believe that Tom Girardi is fully incompetent? Part of me feels that he does, that he is. But overall, that doesn't change what Tom Girardi has done. That doesn't change the amount of money that you've spent. And people are asking, did Erika know? Garcelle, which I loved. Garcelle was the one to say, I think, and I'm just going to paraphrase this. Basically, what Garcelle was saying is that I think you turned a blind eye. There's no way you're telling me that you did not hear about these things. Bethany Frankel said, her late fiance, Dennis Shields, told her the legal circles in California have been talking about this for years. You're not telling me, especially with the amount of gay guys that were around Erika, that she didn't hear the gossip about her husband. And look, we saw throughout this season the amount of backtracking, the amount of just giving us breadcrumbs as to, I can't even think. Defending him on this level that is just like, even Crystal at one point is like, where is the anger? And then she turns to her, is that angry enough for you? No, I think what Crystal is trying to say is that at one point you're saying this was your husband of 20 something years. Oh, he was such a great guy. And then one other part, you're like, he cheated on me for years. Okay, girl. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Don't forget, guys, we are still raising money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's about to be over. We're still short, I think, $1,100. Let's raise that money together. I know that we can do it. We're raising it for the charity Black Women's Health Imperative. So please donate what you can. Okay. Thank you so much, Erika, for the super chat. Erika says the background should have been of Garcelle's or Crystal's culture, not Kathy's house. Bravo, such a kiss ass. Such a good point. You're right. Or maybe a combination of both. I don't know how you would do that, but why not? Why Kathy's house? Kathy is a friend of. Thank you so much for the super chat. Mods, can you just let me know where we are with... Thank you. Delsenia, reading my mind. Delsenia, reading my mind. Let's get to 50 more likes, guys, and I'm going to drop the call-in link because I do want to hear what you guys have to say. I will be putting a timer on because I want to get to everyone. I know a lot of you are very passionate about this. We have one more episode that we're going to recap. This has been... I just can't believe some of the things that... this has felt like... At this point, it's like, oh my gosh, we've covered so much in regards to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This Erika story, I just didn't expect Erika to defend Tom the way that she did. And not in a good way. It's not like she made sense. The stories kept on shifting and changing, and then she started saying allegedly, and make it make sense. Like I love to twerk on a fence, but you also know I like to keep an open mind. And I really try to keep an open mind this season to Erika. But at every single turn, Erika has failed us. Like you can't defend her. You can't defend her. Jack, thank you so much for the super chat. Jack says this: Erika mentioned that the finances for the firm was growing every year. But wait a minute, how would she know? She didn't have access to the books. That's why I'm telling you, every single turn in this, just in this last part, there were so many lies. You're like, I don't understand. EH Bunny says Bravo spent more money in Crystal's backyard than Kathy's. Why wasn't the background a copy of Crystal's party for Rena's lips? And at first, that's what I thought the background was. I was like, maybe that's what they're going for. No. We also have to remember that Kathy Hilton and Paris have a show coming to Peacock. They're really trying to make Peacock happen. I know we're going to get an announcement about the Real Housewives of Miami. Part of me is interested to see what the Real Housewives of Miami will be. I will watch it, but I really wasn't a huge fan of Miami when it aired. And apparently neither were you, because it was canceled after like 3 seasons. Candace, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Erika has more venom for Sutton than she did for Tom. In my opinion, that's what Crystal was getting out. Victim mode. Exactly. But she has an answer for everything. She has an answer for everything. Thank you again for the super chat. Hold on. Ooh. There we go. Deborah says these reunions revealed absolutely nothing. The ladies are still supporting her, including Andy. The only people, and I have to give it to Crystal, in this last part, we got more of Crystal stepping up in regards to questioning Erika. I wish they would have followed up on her question about the victims. And even Sutton was like, yes. And Garcelle too. Garcelle was out there highlighting it as well. I'm interested to see what this season will look like, what the focus will be. We've heard rumors that this season's really going to be about Erika's legal troubles. More than likely, we're going to see a lot of Kyle. We probably will get some more Kathy. And of course, I think we might get an appearance from Kim this season. We shall see. Rumor on the street is that Leah Remini might be a housewife. I would love to see that, because Leah Remini's family alone would be hilarious. So it would be interesting, her interaction with these other fake ladies, because Leah Remini's so real. But we shall see. And then, of course, they could cover Scientology on it. The more I think about it, I want to see Leah Remini on there. That's the only Leah I want to see. Anyways. Amber says Real Housewives of Miami was terrible. Angie loves Leah Remini as well. AC loves Leah too. The Reality says, I prefer Kim over Kathy. Really? I wonder why, Reality fan. I mean, I can see why. But you know what it is with Kim? It just got really dark and sad. So I think a lot of people just didn't want to see Kim on the show anymore, unfortunately, even though that is reality. Let's see what's going on with her life. But it also, I think a lot of people felt that the show wasn't good for her sobriety either. Daniel says Miami was boring, but I still that's not good. JJ's asking the question. We talked a little bit about this, and I also did a separate video on Dorit's robbery. Is the Dorit story true? She was robbed. Well, according to the police, yes. The police were there. There's an investigation. It sounds very scary. It sounds very scary. Like I said before, I would not want to wish that on anyone. She had her two young kids with her. PK is in Europe still. Not sure if he's on his way home. Jack, thank you so much for another super chat. Andy is an awful interviewer. He doesn't dig. Kempire, what is going on in the Bravo hemisphere? Everyone decided to go ham today. I know, right? I don't know what's going on. I do know a lot is going on at Bravo, and I think that's part of the reason why we're starting to see some of these shows and franchises fall apart. But I blame Bravo. I blame Bravo. It always starts at the top. There's a lot of stuff that we don't see. There's a lot of speculation that we hear about. And trust and believe the speculation that you hear about, there's a lot of truth to what we're hearing. And I think that's part of the reason what's going on. Brandy says you need a police report to file an insurance claim, and I'm sure that's going to be coming. Hold on. Reality TV is over. Bravo is recognizing this. Kristen, thank you so much for the super chat. A news copper did an aerial of the house. You see a ladder and the broken window to the kids' playroom. That's a scary situation, especially if you have kids and you are a woman by yourself. Your husband's not even with you. This is, again, the second time that the Kemsleys have experienced a break-in, a burglary. Regardless, as I said before, that's a scary situation. It's a scary situation. I know a lot of people are speculating, but we can leave the speculation to the authorities. They will figure out what is really going on. Did you see Teddy blame Dana for Dorit's breakup? Or break in? I don't know what you mean. Please clarify. I'm about to... all right, we're at 230 likes. Let's get 20 more likes, and I will drop the call-in link. I want to hear what you guys have to say. This is our weekly recap. It's about to be over. What are we going to do when Beverly Hills is over? Oh, we have plenty of other shows to recap. We hear the Real Housewives of Orange County is going to be starting up. We did a recap earlier today of Below Deck. That looks like it's going to be a good season. We have tomorrow we're going to do a recap of Queens on ABC and Insecure on HBO, because now that's delved into celebrity news because of the AKA situation. So we'll be recapping that tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join our texting community as you see scrolling across your screen. Kristen, thank you again for the super chat. Walker says, recap, I love a mama's boy. I would, because I do watch it, but I just feel like it's so fake. And I just feel like we can, add it to our 90 Day Fiance conversation maybe, but a lot of these couples are just playing it up for the cameras at this point. And I've heard a lot of it is untrue. Thank you so much. We hit our goal. Let me drop the call-in link because I know you guys are dying to call in. I set the bar high today. Hold on. Let me drop this copy. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, on my TikTok says Miami still had the luxury element. And, that's part of the reason why a lot of people loved watching the Real Housewives of just Real Housewives in general. It was for these women that have a luxurious lifestyle. I mean, that's changed over the years. Sidebar, I just got a notification. So it looks like the relationship between Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid might be over. So maybe this is part of the reason that's causing drama between Zayn Malik and Yolanda Hadid. If you missed that story, check out the video that I posted earlier. This is a messy situation. Do we need to get Yolanda back on for season 12? These messy celebrities, but you guys keep me in business. You keep me in business. All right. Let's start taking some calls. Data, yes, Data. We are going to be recapping tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon, Queens and Insecure. We're going to talk about both shows for some interesting conversation. Gloria, thank you so much for the super chat. This reunion was mild. I'm waiting for medium and hot. I am from Buffalo. Love you, Kempire. Buffalo, I've never been to Buffalo. I know quite a few people that lived in Buffalo, went to school in Buffalo, and I've never been. I need to do some more United States traveling, especially after this last trip. I'm going to have to do some more United States traveling. Oh, Dana Wilkie, the 25,000 glasses. What did she say? Okay. You guys call in. Call in if you wanted to share your thoughts on what you were just mentioning, so we can get some clarification. I'm going to start taking some callers. I'm going to set the timer. Just a reminder, no cursing. Get to the point. I'm giving you all 2 minutes to get to the point. Okay? We have a full backstage. I want to get to everyone, and then I'm going to call it a night because I've been busy all day. All day. All right. And if you want your own coldest water bottle, Oops, there we go. Your own coldest water bottle. A link is available in the description of this video. Use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. I saw someone just got one. And shout out to you guys that send PayPal or Cash App. I don't normally see it until after the live. Just want to say I thank you and appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you. All right, let's go. Obi's backstage. I'm going to bring him up. What's going on, Obi?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm good. So basically, how Teddy is playing into this is basically she's calling out Dana Wilkie for posting a picture, apparently, of Dorit saying, "I hope you sleep really well tonight. You put her and her kids in danger by posting this. Disgusting." So apparently, Dana Wilkie posted a picture of Kempsey's LLC, which is named after her residential street, right before this thing happened to her. So that's how they're both playing into it.
Oh, so Teddy's alleging that because she posted this information, that's what made these people go to burglarize her home.
Yeah, that's what she's claiming. So I'm going to leave it at that because I don't feel like I'm going to actually have to speak much about this situation. Like you said, let's leave it for the officials to handle it. Then coming down to this reunion did not need 4 parts. I'm beginning to even think more into the line of story of Erika actually knew a lot of these questions before she was asked. I'm beginning to believe that, especially with this episode.
Yeah.
Most of her answers seem very pre-manufactured, and it seemed that she just knew what she was going to be asked. I mean, I wasn't really seeing it that much before, but this episode really sealed the deal for me.
Wow.
You know how people say third time's a charm? You had so many chances on the show for you to acknowledge the victims. Even on this reunion, you still had another chance to acknowledge the victims. What did you say? If anybody has been proven wrong, I want them remedied. My life is upside down. Enough has to be proven. I feel horrible. Me. What about the victims?
The alleged victims. That's what she referred to them as.
I should still use the word again, alleged victims. It doesn't make sense, Erika. Like, seriously, at this point, I'm thinking you're probably, it doesn't seem like you're even like human. You don't have feelings. You lack empathy. You're not even thinking about like what these people are actually going through. You can't go out there and paint yourself as this like victim when you have the glam squad. Okay, in fact, I'm not even going to go on. Let me not go on with that. Then the second thing I wanted to talk about was Crystal. I'm beginning to see Crystal as two-faced.
Two-faced.
Because first of all, I feel like there's some story that's swirling around that she lied about something. Because when she was talking about the whole, I think she wanted to be a madam or something. She worked with an escort agency. They were advertising escorts, and then she's never been public or something like that. And then she wanted to be a madam, and then she was arrested. I think she said she was arrested, right? But then
she said that was the lie. She hadn't been arrested.
But guess what? I'm hearing that that's actually not a lie, and that she actually revealed the whole truth about this, her being arrested, on Teddy Mellencamp's podcast. Have you heard about it?
I'm going to listen to Teddy Mellencamp's podcast, but I'll believe you.
Okay. Then another reason why I also think she's two-faced is just the way she's, the story, like when they talked about the Birkin bag, like why can't you just say, hey, I wanted a Birkin bag. I wanted it and I asked my husband to buy it for me. I liked it and I have it. Pish posh, like nobody cares about, I feel like she's trying to always find something, like she's trying to always look for another angle to her, story to make her look good.
Yeah.
Then when she shows all these emotions and everything about her dad, her dad having Alzheimer's and all that, it seems to me like you're really putting it out front there. Like it doesn't seem genuine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like her. I like her, but Crystal,
I can't tell.
You need to start being yourself. You need to start being yourself if you want to remain on this show and if you want people to continue to like you. Okay. And it seems like she's really kissing up to these ladies, and I don't like that. Then last and final,
then Obi, you are over your 2 minutes.
Dorit and Lisa-Rina, I cannot stand you guys. Get off the show. That's it. Bye.
Bye, Obi. Look, we stop the timer. Over your 2 minutes. No, and look, I'm going to start dropping y'all. No, I wouldn't do that. But guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Obi did drop some tea, so I get what you guys are trying to say in the chat. I don't know. Look, I have to start doing my own research on that. If I don't know if that's necessarily the only reason why that someone would go to Dorit's home and burglarize it. I feel like that's always going to be a situation in California that's not unusual. But we do have to be mindful of posting people's information online. Just saying. Anyways, thank you so much, Callie, for the super sticker. Appreciate you supporting the channel. And thank you, Debbie. Let's keep it light and polite. And don't forget to hit the like. All right. Kristen, I'm going to bring you up. Hold on. Reset this. What's going on, Kristen?
Not much. So I'm going to be honest. I did not watch more than just a few clips. Yesterday was my birthday, and I didn't want it ruined by getting mad at Erika.
Happy belated.
Thanks. So, but that said, I'm going to use my 2 minutes to drop some facts and figures on everybody because it's making me giddy with, what's the term, Schadenfreude, where you kind of that evil laughter at another's expense. So Emily D. Baker did a video, and she talked about the Girardis and updates and stuff and everything that's going on. One of the things that she talked about was something that just got approved by the court, a settlement that just got approved by the court. So we all know that right now, Girardi Keys has outstanding debts in excess of $100 million. We all know that the house that's up for auction right now is basically they need to recoup $13 million to break even, to repay the Rui Gomez, and then also pay the realty teams. So we all know this. Roughly, it's about $115 million is what is owed to creditors right now. And then we have some additional outstanding in where it's estimated it's around the $50 million mark for victims who had their client settlements taken by Tom Girardi. Okay. So now that we all know that's roughly $175 million. And there's a reason I'm pointing this out. So you and I have talked about the divorce previously and how once you file for divorce, that's it. You are no longer the spouse. It may take years to settle, but everything from the day you file, you have no rights to. Apparently, the PG&E settlement just got approved by the judge. The Girardi Keys will get 45% of, I believe the figure is 1.3 billion with a B as in boy, which would wipe out the debts owed and give all the clients their money, but give Erika Jayne not a dime.
Whoa.
Because she filed for divorce on election day, and this settlement was only just approved by the court, meaning that if it all works out, everybody gets their money except for Tom and Erika Girardi.
This is such good news, Kristen.
So everybody go watch the Emily D. Baker. It's she did like almost a 3-hour live. So you got to use the timestamps and then watch it all because it's just a tiny little blip. And then, she has a whole playlist on all of the Girardi lawsuits going back to December. But after 25, she stopped adding to it because God, who could bother anymore, But I just thought that when I saw that, a few days ago, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not, first of all, maybe I don't like Erika a lot. And also maybe I'm getting it wrong. So of course I reached out to a couple of friends who are attorneys to ask them for some hey, curiosity, answer this question for me. And they were like, yep, they'll recoup their fees, half of their fees as well as their percentage, which is 40 to 45%. So we're talking about on a $1.3 billion settlement that $500 million.
Wow.
So you have to remember, Tom Girardi owes money not just on the professional side, but also on the personal side, like to the ex-wife, she still is owed all her alimony that hasn't been paid. And then we have the former business partner who retired and his retirement is now gone. We have the attorneys that helped keep the law firm running after Tom Girardi was doing whatever the hell he was doing. I mean, like, we have a lot of people who are owed a lot of money, not just clients who had their settlements taken. But this money would mean that the portion that the law firm is actually entitled to would repay the client's settlements that were taken, through embezzlement, fraud, money laundering, whatever. But obviously,
wonder about the money that the bankruptcy trustee is suing Erika for. Will that be wiped out as well, or will she still be responsible for that money?
I think it would wipe out everything. So Erika could walk away free and clear, but she would not be somebody who could have a claim against that money because she filed for divorce almost a year ago. And you aren't entitled to any earnings from your former spouse while the divorce is ongoing after the date you have actually filed. And she shot herself in the foot because she did not put the date of separation on her paperwork. It's blank or TBD, But we all know that Tom Girardi has been in an assisted care facility since the beginning of August, which means that anything that took place after the beginning of August of this year and in conjunction with after November of last year when she filed, that anything that has taken place after that, they are absolutely not cohabitating. They are separated legally and the divorce is pending. So she can absolutely get divorced now, but she is not entitled to any of Tom's money any longer.
Damn. Well, karma's a bitch.
So I'm just saying that she may not have been mad before, but we're probably going to see a lot more legal documents because she's going to fight to try and get some of that money. But it only just got approved. And Emily mentioned it as kind of a by the by, talking about something else. I had to go back and rewatch it.
I'm going to have to watch it. I'm definitely going to have to go watch it. And I'm going to post the link in the description of the video for the replay crew. Kristen, as always, I love it when you call in and you share and you always bring some tea. So thank you for doing that.
By all means, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me because I don't like getting stuff wrong. I would rather have to admit that I made a mistake than have people share info that is incorrect.
Amen. And we're gonna do our own research, and that's our responsibility as adults. We hear something and then we go and we research it ourselves. Hopefully what you're saying is true, because that has been the biggest issue for us in covering this new season, is that will the victim see a dime? And if this is true, this would be such a great ending to this crazy story.
Especially because these clients are scattered not just in California, but around the world, and we're talking about other attorneys who did their job. They did it with integrity. They showed up, they represented these people, and none of them got paid. None of their staffs got paid. So we're talking about people that have been screwed over for decades. And some of these clients cannot get their money back at this point. It has been too long. Wow. Because Tom strung them along past the point that they would have had to have sued him because they trusted him, because he was their attorney. That's why I have repeatedly said that the victims were victims from what happened to them. Tom victimized them based off of all of this. And then Erika has re-victimized them herself by going on the show with her behavior and her antics and all of that. Wow. And then, I know I'm over my 2 minutes, but I did just want to just put a bug in your ear. I'm so sorry. It just occurred to me. I meant to say it. I'm so sorry. Okay. So that I said Tom's absolutely the criminal in my eyes and Erika is the abuser based off of her behavior, especially towards the women. Mm-hmm. Somebody put this on Twitter, and I really think that we should all genuinely consider this in light of the fact that Tom has been medically diagnosed as having dementia, Alzheimer's, diminished capacity.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've seen how abusive Erika is, and we've seen her conflicting statements and stretching the truth and flat out lying and all of the other things. Yeah. And now she's talked about all these ways that Tom has been hurt and injured and all of this, right? Yet we don't see documentation from doctors or from police reports or any of that. At what point do we start asking ourselves if maybe, just maybe, we're actually looking at Tom being a criminal mastermind when he was perhaps a little more in control of himself, and we look at Erika for elder abuse?
Oh, damn.
Because he has come with bruises, broken bones. I mean, injuries, serious injuries. Maybe I'm wrong, and this is, just me speculating and spitballing. But I genuinely am starting to be like, okay, if this guy's really genuinely like diminished capacity, then how is this man showing up with bruises and broken bones and things like that? And the only person who's witness to his injuries is her. Look at how she treats these women when they ask her questions.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I could totally be wrong. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. I'm done. You can move on to the next person.
Thank you, Chris, for calling in.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Look, let me stop the timer. But you know what? I gave Kristen some leeway because she brought some tea and hopefully some good news in regards to the victims, the real victims, not Erika Jayne Girardi, the real victims, Tom Girardi's victims, his former clients that did not get paid. I hope and pray to God that information is true, because that really would be a nice happy ending, because we really did not have hope. We were all trying to figure out how, after this is all said and done, and if they do not get their money, how can we raise funds for the victims? Luckily, maybe we won't have to do that if this is true. All right, let's take some more callers. Chantel, I'm going to bring you up, and I'm going to start the timer. What's going on, Chantel?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Can you speak a little bit louder, because I know everyone else can?
Okay, I definitely can. I don't have any tea, unfortunately. I just have my opinion on this boring reunion. 4 parts of what? Erika just saying what her lawyers told her to say? Like, clearly, I don't think she knew everything. I agree with Garcelle. Definitely think she turned a blind eye. But the way she's acting about this is just horrendous. And I don't even think she should be on the show, because I know it's the whole drama, but if what happened is like real, I don't think we should be supporting this person and giving her a paycheck. I think if she is going to be on the show, it should go to the victims. But yeah, that's really it. It was just unfortunate to see Andy not really go into the nitty-gritty, because he really could have.
Yeah. Well, we already knew that he wouldn't. We already knew he wouldn't.
Yeah. That's why ABC, get rid of him.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but Anything else, Chantel, before I let you go?
No, that's it. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Thank you for calling in. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. I see a familiar face backstage. I see a few familiar faces backstage. So let me get to them. Bernice, what's going on?
Hey, baby. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
Hey. I'm used to my background. I see my boss there in the back. Okay, he home. Okay. This was a waste of our time. This reunion, really. Like when you remember when you were in high school and you asked for the hall pass to go to the bathroom, and you stay in there for 55 minutes to time for your next class. That's how this felt. Like, what is this? And then she gonna say, and Andy's a Mitch. We know this. For you to let her threaten them women on that stage, and you don't say anything, you're feeding into her behavior, saying it's okay. I want her to stay on. This is reality TV. Her life is her job. I want everything to fall out from this. I don't want them to fire her. Matter of fact, give her a raise. Okay, I want to see her next season because if you cut your own stuff out of your own divorce money, I want to see how that's going to affect you. How you going to bounce back from that, boo? Okay. And her minion. I'm sorry. There is no way that I don't have security alarm system up the yin yang on my house. I'm coming home in the middle of the night with my baby, and there's no security there waiting on me. I'm sorry, no, no, no. I got a 357 underneath my pillow and a bat underneath my bed. You're not gonna be standing over my bed looking at me like I'm a stranger in my own house. You're gonna get some bullets in you.
Bernice, we can't talk like that on here.
Okay, let me do like them allegedly.
I don't think you can just say that.
Okay. You just traumatized those babies.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, what we're hearing, they were asleep and they were not awake at the time.
And I'm sorry. You have to be careful how you flash your lifestyle. There's always somebody out there looking at you saying, dang, I want that. I'm going to take that.
And you don't have to have a lot for people to feel that way either.
Exactly. So this was a waste of our time, the reunion. Andy's not going to get any better. He's not going to ask any other deep questions. Erika knew after the fact, and she didn't care because she enjoyed the lifestyle, what she benefited from it for. And when she said, I got to listen to my people, and Sutton, she coughed like her, like I know I'm on the top of that list. I'm not scared of you, boo. I don't understand why Lisa and Kyle is so scared of her.
I don't know.
I don't understand. And your boy was right. Crystal is a wannabe. I told you Crystal wannabe.
Yeah. She want to be a part of the in crowd.
Yes. And I don't understand why Kathy, she still ain't seen the movie, but she upset about the movie. But you ain't seen the movie, but you can't tell me why you're upset about the movie. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Miss Bernice, I hate to cut you off, but we have a long line and it's already getting late. And I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, kiddo.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we are, of course, talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Reunion Part 3. Overwhelmingly, a lot of you feel as if it was just a filler. It was a filler episode. Let me get to the line of people that are backstage. I will post the call-in link again. We'll take some call just because we haven't been able to really have, this is our very first time doing Beverly Hills since I went on vacation. So now that I got some strong internet service right here. Matter of fact, it's a little warm in here. Let me turn my fan on. All right. 2 minutes, callers. 2 minutes. All right. Jessica, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Jessica?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
All right. So let me piggyback off of Miss Bernice. All right. This was just a filler. It was a waste of my time. I watched it with you on your TikTok. So shout outs to people on your TikTok. But this was just wasteless. It's pointless. This is ridiculous. Andy, you said it was going to be good. I asked all these questions. You're disappointing. This was a waste of my bloody time. I am done. But I will be on your TikTok next week for next week's reunion. But I'm done.
Next week's reunion is going to be more interesting, but I felt like it probably could have been wrapped up this week.
No. Part 4 is going to be a filler. It's going to be boring as heck. Period. I am done with the plum foolery of Beverly Hills. This was disappointing all the way around. I'm sorry.
And that's why we have Call in and share your thoughts. Jessica, I appreciate you calling in.
Bye, Kempire. Have a good night.
You too. Guys, we have over 800 and something people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe to the channel because you're getting daily and consistent content. We don't just talk about reality TV here on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. We talk about everything in pop culture. So if you missed out on anything, including an update in regards to Wendy Williams' ex-husband engagement, responding to the engagement news, be sure to check that out. We went live early this morning talking about that as well. Let's get to some more callers. Chris Mueller, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Chris?
Hello, Kempire, and have viewers and everybody. So I'm going to cut to the chase because you said we have 2 minutes, right? Okay, First of all, like everybody else said, waste of time, burnt down, raggedy, tired, musty, crusty, dusty, Lysol, need, whatever it needs to come back to life. My thing is, Andy sat up there and he's not asking her the right questions. He sat up there on Potomac and grilled Monique about Chris's income, but he's not asking Erika Jayne about the money she was giving him. And if she didn't know anything about what was going on, why was she giving him the money? And if he was getting her money, where did all that money go to? Now they owe all these victims, unfortunately. I hope that they're able to pay the victims back. And plus, when the other caller called in earlier, all the other money that's owed. And on top of that, my conspiracy, after hearing like she filed for divorce and all of that, do you think that she may try to hurry up and get the divorce finalized? And since she took herself out of the divorce settlement money-wise, she could claim bankruptcy and try to weasel her way out? Because she could try to do that. It might not happen. I'm not the smartest person. It's just my own conspiracy. But I just think it's been a waste of time. Erika's lying as usual. And what I'm stuck at is she gave him all the money. And then she sat up there, tried to use classic deflection. I walk out with 2 credit cards. Am I going to call you? Am I going to call you? Am I going to call you? And honey, nobody's going to call you. And we're not answering the phone. She better sell those Cartier bracelets and jewelries and earrings that she has on, all those top fashions. She better go down to the pawn shop or go to the shop. She better sell it to get that money up because she is portraying a lifestyle like she's at the White House, and she may come back down to the soup kitchen.
Not the soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen. And that's all I have to say.
And we appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in, Chris.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Wow. Passionate. I love the passion, guys. If you're just joining us, of course, we are talking about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, part 3. If you're watching the replay of this, let me know your thoughts. What was the highlight? What did you think overall so far of this reunion? Did it need 4 parts? What do you think of Andy's hosting and questions? What are some of the questions that you feel that have not been answered? Let me know in the comment section. Guys, also let me know in the chat. And if you want to call in and share your thoughts, be sure to let me know. Call in and share them. I'm going to bring up Lonnie. What's going on, Lonnie? Lonnie's not working right now.
I know. How are you?
Oh, how are you?
Good. So for me, like I've said it before, the 4-part series, it's kind of like you as a New Yorker going to a coffee shop during rush hour and like waiting forever for your coffee. Like, is it done yet?
No.
So I really don't think that this really needed to be 4 parts. But my thing is with Andy, I find him to be, especially when there's a particular incident that goes on with the show, Candace and Monique, this situation, I feel like Andy comes with a very different energy and a very judgmental energy when it comes to like the Atlantas and Potomacs versus like the Beverly Hills and those type of things. He comes with a very different energy on how he approaches them. Because if he really wanted to go in on Erika, you do realize you have to pay that $20 million back. Because even though you had nothing to do with it, that money was never yours. It was the victim's money. So how are you planning on paying that back? Because you actually do have to pay that money back. Even if you feel like you had nothing to do with it, it doesn't matter. That money was never supposed to go to you in the first place. 2, did you not have accountants to know where this money came from? What made you want to come on this show anyway? Because you, as the wife of Tom, and knowing the type of attorney that Tom is, why would you want to come on a show and knowing that your wealth and your lifestyle and your luxury is off the backs of people who are now disabled, killed, or worse? So you're flaunting your wealth off of that. So what made you come on the show in the first place? And she was more angry at Sutton than she was with Tom. And none of the stuff makes sense. It's like you can't be dumb and try to play smart at the same time. Because if he was unconscious and fell off a cliff or whatever he did, and you call 911, there would be a police report. You're saying he's been unconscious for 12 hours, but you just took him home? It does not make sense, and it does not add up. So she definitely is lying. And I think that she needs to, before she opens her mouth, she needs to learn how to make her story make sense. And I can guarantee you everything on this show is going to come back and bite her on the ass, because a lot of stuff does not make sense. And
didn't she say that? She said that in the reunion. She says she feels as if anything that she says, and she feels like she already said some things that's going to come bite her in the ass.
The entire season of everything she has told and the different variations of the stories, it's going to come back. And anyone who will cross-examine her is going to murder her on the stand. So I think that the whole situation too, last thing is, everything was about her, not the victims. My life has been turned upside down. I now am not living in the big house. I have to rent now. I that. It's like, girl, these people's lives have been turned upside down. These people have been conned and are now like in worse situations because many of them have debt. Many of them are dealing with so many other things right now. So their life is upside down. You drive a Range Rover home, girl. You're like in designer clothes all the time. You live in a house that's a mini mansion with a pool. And your life got turned upside down. You've got people out here that are still trying to like live from paycheck to paycheck and pay for groceries.
Yep.
So stop. Like, she's very tone deaf, and she just gets on my last nerve, my very last nerve. And I love Kathy, but stop treating her like she is the Queen of England.
I know.
Stop. She is.
I didn't know she was.
It's just like you would think that she's like a god of Bravo or something. Like, love her, she's cute, she's funny, but I don't understand that. But I just wish we would wrap this up, really. But Andy needs to come with the same energy to all these other housewife franchises like he does with the Atlantas and the Potomac brands of those shows.
Yeah. Definitely. Honey, thank you so much for calling in. Gotta get
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Have a good one.
Bye. Okay. I want to say thank you to Mama Allie. She says, I still want Andy to ask just what Erika said to Sutton to make her so scared and leave the dinner, but he won't ask. However, Allie, the tea on the street is that they do ask. I'm thinking maybe in part 4, they will share what she said under her breath. The one thing that according to Sutton, that she said she would never repeat. They do ask her the question during the reunion. Thank you so much for the super chat. Queen of Harlem, thank you so much for the super chat as well. We're going to take these last couple of callers. Adam, I'm going to bring you up because I know it's late over where you are. What's going on, Adam?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What is your reaction to this latest part of the reunion?
If it wasn't for Garcelle and Sutton, I wouldn't be watching. I don't understand what's going on with this whole show. It just seems so dragged out, and I've noticed that there's been some editing problems. So after episode 1, we were meant to see a Sutton and Erika argument / beef, whatever you want to call it, that got cut out because of Kathy and Kyle's crying about their past, which I think everyone is so over. We were meant to see it again, and they advertised after the second episode we're going to see it. We only saw about 15 seconds of it.
Yeah,
it was just trash. And the best part for me was when Garcelle and Sutton just put they know their assignment, and I'm telling you that if when they said the words, no, you did not show any sympathy to the victims, you did not mention that. You know that is a fabrication, basically. I just don't understand. Lisa Rinna is just really, really making me question who she is anymore. You know, she claims that she's this person that always wants people to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't she saying that to Erika? You know, why are these people scared of her? And it just doesn't make sense. And I don't think that is a minority opinion. I think people only are watching this purely because of Garcelle and Sutton. I mean, they give Kyle this this vanity executive producer thing because Camille always says on Twitter that the execs treat Kyle like a vanity producer. And the whole time Kyle's just there, just looking complete blank and what have you. And she just knows that she's going to get a pass onto season 12, and she just doesn't give a damn. And it's just a bit frustrating, really. And with the questions, Andy, as all the other callers have said, it's just so blah. Like, he was going full on Monique with Potomac. He was going full on Kenya back in season 10 for not showing her relationship with Mark. He was eager for that. And I really do think there is this disproportionate with the non-white majority shows. And it just really frustrates me. And I just think also with Beverly Hills and what have you, you know, it may be getting more views than Atlanta now, but that's only in my opinion because the cast was in shambles and COVID.
Yeah.
And this is a big, you know, lawsuit. But really truly, if they continue going on with this Erika thing, it's just going to get boring at some stage. But, you know, why isn't he mentioning the victims on a possessive way and saying, don't you care about these people? There's nothing at all there. It's just kind of dry, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And mostly the cast seems to be pretty doodally when it comes to Erika, and recently all they've been doing is making fun of Lisa Vanderpump on Instagram.
Yep.
And quite frankly, season episode 4, am I looking forward to it? No, but the only thing I'm looking forward to is Andy saying to Carl's face that she was a kiss ass.
And that was a comment that was sent in. Adam, as always, we appreciate you calling in. I got to get to these other callers.
Yes, but I don't know. I just want it to be over.
Point, right?
What's it? Always a pleasure, Kempire. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You too. It's late there. Go to get some sleep.
Will do. Bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to take these last couple of callers, guys. If you're just joining us, of course, I'm your boy, TheKempire. Don't forget, a new episode of my podcast came out earlier this week where I talk about some things that I don't talk about anywhere else. I even dropped some Roni tea. I think it was this week or the previous week. Go check it out. Subscribe to my podcast, Kempire Radio, and don't forget to rate and review. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to all my moderators, including Nightbot. Hey, Nightbot. Shout out to TikTok. We're live on multiple platforms, including TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire. Make sure you follow me on those platforms as well, because those platforms will be getting exclusive lives and different content. So stay tuned for that. Like last night, we were exclusively just on TikTok watching the part 3 reunion and making comments and all that kind of good stuff. All right. Justine says, Kempire, can you start uploading your TikTok lives on YouTube so the replay crew can watch? Oh, I don't know if I can. I will look into that. I just don't want a copyright claim on TikTok if I post it there, because I think you're referring to when we do the commentary. Let me see. I think that I possibly can, but I'm not sure. I'm just But I'll look into it. I'll look into it. All right. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Let's get to these last couple of callers. Barbara, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Barbara?
What's going on? I want to first come in Erika's defense because Erika was married to $1 billion lawyer. All right. Much older than her. So she married him for money and she enjoyed his money. That's the reason why she joined the show, to show off the fact that she got plenty of money and she looked good. I got to come in this lady defense because I seen the lifestyle of the rich and famous. She is innocent. This is, and I have to say this, being a nursing assistant that worked for elderly, that man is abused and was abused, whoever was taking care of him, if he has been diagnosed with broken bones. So help me, it needs to be investigated because this man was abused. That's
Do you think by Erika?
If whomever was in his care abused this man, I am not saying Erika. I am saying Erika is innocent about all of this stolen money. She don't owe nobody nothing. That's like if my husband went and robbed the bank, gave me money, I'm not responsible for that. Why? Because if I don't know where he got it from, you understand? I mean to say, if I know where he got, no, she did not know this because the lawyers carry integrity. Who would think a $1 billion lawyer will jeopardize his $1 million law firm for anything? Lawyers carry integrity almost to a judge. The consequences is jail. You understand? So therefore, she enjoyed the money being married to an old man, and she respected her man. And I appreciate the way she stood in grace. What do you want me to do? Like she told that lady, what do you want me to do? Of the victim, she is not responsible for. What? She's supposed to be sad for the victims? I don't think so, because she didn't work for the law firm. She is sad just like everybody in the public is sad. That's the only responsibility she needs to hold, is being sadness, but to feel responsible for people to make this woman to feel responsible, I'm going against totally.
But don't you think, even with that being said, now that she knows what her husband did and she still has not shown any sort of respect to the victims of her husband, that she's reaped the benefits of this money that he's stolen from them?
First of all, she's showing dignity to herself. And as any woman that enjoy benefits from her husband, she don't want to be held accountable for the abuse that was done to people, because she was married to a lawyer with integrity, and that's what she thought she was benefiting from. Not a thief, not a criminal, not a liar. And I'm going to stand by this woman. And she joined the show because she was innocent. Oh, I'm married to an old man, but guess what? I got joy, I got this, I got that. I look good. I could do everything I want. I could have assistance, because he's showering her with money. He is a lawyer. Who would think that a lawyer, that's like a judge almost, with $1 billion law.
Well, here's the thing, though, because I come from the world of law, and a lot of people that work in the world of law have been commenting on this case. A lot of them are saying that she should have known, because his type of law doesn't spend the type of money that he was doing. They don't make that kind of money to live the lifestyle that they were living.
He doesn't know he was prominent. His office was spectacular, to look like they was $1 million law firm.
Did you see that law firm? We went through the stuff. They didn't look like, I mean, law firms are a little stuffy anyway. But
beginning, their lifestyle was $1 billion. From the beginning, she lived as a millionaire, going to be a billionaire. She lived that lifestyle from the very beginning. She was in her own world as a wife, cherished with, don't be hating on her. Stop. She stood there and standing there, like she said, being on the show might jeopardize her because she's talking so much, and it's things she shouldn't say because she's innocent. And she's saying, listen, I ain't know this man, but I tuned in for this reason. I worked as a nurse's aide for the elderly. That is total abuse. Whoever was responsible for the care of this man, allowed him to be abused. That's the bottom line. I worked as a nurse and assistant. See, the nurses don't do the, I do the work. I'm the one that changed the diapers, turn them over in position, get them out of bed, dress them. You understand? If they got broken legs, you understand? That's abuse. That man, don't ignore that fact. Let's get a criminal case on who abused.
Well, look, I have to stop you there, Barbara. You're talking about what's happening now. We're talking about 40 years of Tom Girardi stealing from victims.
I'm talking about a lawyer that did it well. He stole the money. You understand? He ain't the first or last. That's the $1 million Wall Street trigger, Illuminati dog. They kill, and that's what they do. They steal money. Money is not important. I'm talking about human life right now. All right? This man does not deserve to be abused. Let's talk about human life.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
He has broken legs, a claimed diagnosis of dementia. Let's double check these doctors, make sure this man has dementia. Let's double check why he has broken legs so he can be accountable and say where this money went. But his wife has nothing to do with it. She did not work for the law firm. She was only married to a demon. Y'all gonna stop.
All right. Well, we appreciate, look, we welcome all kinds of opinions, Barbara, and we appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you. And I appreciate you.
Bye. You know, we love different opinions here, y'all. We give everyone an opportunity. I love it when people that see a different side, especially when we're talking about Erika Jayne Girardi. And maybe that's why her mom follows the channel. Renee, you want to call in, girl? Feel free. Anyways. Talani's going to be our last caller, guys. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Shout out to everyone that sent in super chats. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Shout out to our members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. And don't forget that we will be live again tomorrow talking about scripted television. We're going to talk about Queen, starring Brandy and Eve and Notori, and I forgot the other lady's name. It's all right. We will know tomorrow. And we're also going to talk about Insecure and all the drama around Insecure tomorrow. Scripted television, kitchen table talk. We're going to talk about it. Talani, I'm going to bring you up for our last comment. What's going on, Talani?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes. What's going on?
So my thing is, I think she knew everything from the start to the end, from when she met him, from when she did all of that. It was just, she stayed with him for the money. And when it got too bad, she dipped. And she thought that she could get her money and leave. But the thing is, she doesn't know about law. So that came to bite her in the butt. And now she's about to pay for it even more because she doesn't know about the law. And you know how people are, where they keep running their mouth because that's what they do and they don't know how to stop. That's what she's doing.
Oh.
And that's why she's upset now, because she feels like she said too much. Yeah, you did say too much. Maybe you should have just stayed quiet like you were going to do in the first place. But you didn't listen to yourself. You just did what you're used to doing, which is a habit. And that's my thing on it. But the one thing that stood out to me during this entire 3 parts of the reunion is the fact that everybody jumped on Garcelle and attacked Garcelle and gaslit her and all of this extra stuff. But when it came to Crystal, everybody, Lisa Rinna reached over and put her hand on her like she was supporting her. All of them were showing love to her. It kind of reminded me of when I was in school and people used to treat you different because you were Black, but you weren't. You're part of the minority, but you're not really part of the minority. And Crystal irritated me. She made me not like her at all after that, because I'm like, you've seen them attack this lady over and over and over again, and you have said nothing as the other minority on the show. You just said nothing.
In all fairness, she did say in an interview, I believe it was with Up and Adam, that she said when she had a conversation with Garcelle specifically told her not to get involved, that she wanted to be the one to handle those types of situations. That's what Crystal said. So I just wanted to put that out.
Right. I saw that, but then my thinking is that this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with just Garcelle. It has to do with overall in period, the fact that someone's gaslighting someone of a other minority and you're just sitting there letting it happen. Like, if she leaves, it's not going to happen to you.
No.
Because now you're the other only minority.
Mm.
And it's like Lisa Rinna they all give me like that what do you call it? Not racist but racist vibe. They all give me that.
I did notice that whole situation when they were talking about the amount of hate that Crystal was getting and how Lisa Rinna reached over and she talked about how their relationship is like a big sister situation. I was sort of like,
People always do that until it hits the fan and then they be attacking them with everything they told them. I thought I was your sister. What happened? They just, that whole entire thing, like them, especially New York, I was like, yeah, y'all are questionable. It's just now showing people of how the microaggressions come about. And it's always towards us and no one else defends us. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Talani, we appreciate you calling in. Anything else before I let you go?
Oh, I also wanted to say another thing. You know how people bring up the conversation about they were talking about the Asian hate and stuff like that. But my thing is that they're always talking about the East Asian people, but they never talk about the Arab Asian people. Like when it comes to them, no one says anything when they talk about the hate they receive. It turns into, oh, well, this is why, and this is because people have been fed this, but they're Asian too. Do y'all also classify them part of the Asian hate, or do we not classify them as part of the Asian hate?
Mm.
And to be honest, I think in American society, we don't classify them as that.
Mm. Okay. I mean, things to think about. Look, that's why we have to have these conversations. Talani, I appreciate you calling in.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. If you're just tuning in, we are, of course, recapping the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Reunion Part 3. Overall, I'm going to ask the chat, how would you rate this latest iteration of the reunion from 1 to 10? And if you're watching the recap of this, I want to know how you would rate this Part 3. Are you going to watch Part 4? You know we will. We're going to watch it together on TikTok next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you're there for that. And of course, we're going to recap the last part. Next week will be our final time talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 11 reunion. Won't be the final time that we will be talking about the drama going on behind the scenes, because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff happening offline that we need to talk about. I see 4, I see 2, I see 3, I see 2, I see 5, I see 3, I see a 1, I see a 2.5. Oh, man. You know what? I had hope. There was a little part of me that, you know what? Andy said that this season was going to be really good. And we were all like, is it going to be? And it was a good season. But I think we all did not have faith in Andy when he said that this reunion was going to be good. Did it need to be 4 parts? Based on what we're seeing, it didn't. It didn't need to be 4 parts. They could have summed this up in it at most 3 parts. At most 3 parts. This last episode did feel like a filler until they got to the end. Bravo knows what they're doing. They're really trying to squeeze as much as they can out of this situation. They've experienced record highs for the season for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is their prize horse for Bravo, because everywhere else the ratings are failing, including Watch What Happens Live. Just saying. Just saying. Najeda, if I'm mispronouncing, I apologize. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think with the racial Asian situation, it started when they started kicking blacks out their homes in China and beating, etc. There's just so much stuff going on in the world, y'all. We just have to keep being informed, keep having the conversations. I thought it was important conversation that they had. I think having Crystal on the show is important. I do believe, in comparison to what we saw in the Real Housewives of Dallas, the ladies of Beverly Hills really embraced her culture more than they did in Dallas. So that was nice to see. I hope we do get to see more of that. I also hope that we get to see more of Garcelle celebrating her Haitian culture. I forgot who called in and said they should have made the set celebrate these two women that brought diversity to this franchise, to this city specifically. I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more of that instead of kissing Kathy Hilton's butt. Just saying. Anyways, guys, again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the videos. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. Everything's at TheKempire, at Kempire Daily, and at Kempire Radio. Follow me there. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. And of course, join our Texan community at TextKempire.com for exclusive tea and another way for you guys to drop me some tea as well. And if you want to keep your water cold for 36 plus hours that come in a variety of sizes and colors, get your coldest water bottle today. Shout out to everyone that's been purchasing their coldest water bottle and getting it like the next day. Don't forget to use the discount code KEMP10 for your discount code. Shout out to our friends over at the Coldest Water Bottle. Appreciate you all being here again. How long? Lord, it was an hour and a half. I loved it. I love the conversations with you guys. Let's continue the conversations in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on part 3 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. Stay tuned. If you missed any of the videos that I posted in the last 24 hours, go check them out. Let me know your thoughts on those videos. And don't forget, we are still trying to reach our goal of $2,500 for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You know, we have a monthly charity that we do here on the channel. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We are raising money for the Black Women's Health Imperative. Let's get to $2,500. Tomorrow, we're going to make sure we get to $2,500. We're going to make sure that we get to it. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go chill out and catch up on Queens. I didn't get to see this week's episode. We will be recapping that and Insecure tomorrow during our kitchen table talk. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.